Good morning, everyone. So let us start with the today's class. Let me share my screen. Yeah, is my screen is visible? Like Lakshman and Naveen, is my screen is visible, right?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, okay, right. So in the today's class, let us discuss about how to download the Power BI desktop. Okay. See, there are the two ways that you can download the Power BI desktop. So the first way is you can, the first way is how you can download the Power BI desktop into your system. We'll discuss in this first class. So once you open your laptop, you will have a one button called as when you look over here. In the search button, click on Microsoft Store. So if the Microsoft Store is installed in your system, you need to click on this Microsoft Store. Once Microsoft Store is, you clicked on the Microsoft Store, so there will be search button which will be opening here. In the search button, type it as Power. So there will be an option called as Power BI Desktop. This will be visible to you. Just click on it. Once you click on it, see Power BI Desktop. This is the icon that it will be visible for you. So already I have installed Power BI Desktop into my system. That's why it is showing me to open. But in case, if in your system Power BI Desktop is not installed in your system, it will ask for you to download. Here the download. Once you click on download option, the Power BI Desktop system will be installed in your system. So this is the one way. If you have Microsoft Store installed in your system, just type it as Microsoft Store. Go to Microsoft Store system. Then here type it as Power, this Power BI Desktop. This will be open. Click on this. This will be open here. Here download. Once you click on the download, automatically the Power BI Desktop will be installed in your system. Okay. So once I click on like this open, see the Power BI Desktop. This is the report. The Power BI Desktop like this, it will be open in your system. That what we call it as Power BI Desktop. See, this is Power BI Desktop. Now we will be in the coming 2 months of the classes. You will be discussing about this Power BI Desktop only. Once the Power BI Desktop, this is open. So in this first you need to click, you want to work on a fresh report, right? So you need to click on blank report. Once you click on blank report, a empty report of Power BI Desktop will be opened in your system. Okay, this is called as Power BI Desktop. Now in the first class, let us discuss about how the Power BI Desktop will be, how to get the data and how to load the data into the Power BI Desktop. That is the first thing. Now let us see how you load the data. So this is the Power BI Desktop. When you closely what is the use of Power BI? With the help of Power BI, we can connect to the data which is given by the client, and we will work on the data and converts the data into a report. That means you will make the visuals from the data given by the client, and you will build some visuals and report from that. And in the real time, the client may store the data in Excel format, or he can store the data in some database like SQL Server. So there is a chance. Suppose if want to connect the data to the Excel, which is the data stored in the Excel, you can click on here, import data from Excel. If you click on here, from this, you can connect to the data which is stored in the Excel. It may be in your desktop. Okay. If you click on this, import data from SQL Server, if the organizations are large, they will store the data in the databases. That means if that data contains more than lakhs of records or more than some millions of the records, if they store the data in the Excel maximum it can accommodate only 10 lakhs records. If you cannot able to more than 10 lakh rows, if you uh, load the lot amount of the data, your Excel will get hang and functionality of the Excel will be disturbed. So if suppose like Amazon, Flipkart or any retail business, there lot of transactions will be taking place day by day. So instead of storing their data in Excel, they will store the data in SQL Server. Okay. Now there is called as paste data into a blank table. What happens in some time we will create some tables manually for ourselves in the Power BI desktop. You will try to create some tables manually. If you want to create some manual tables or manual data by your own, you can click on this paste data into blank table. Now there is another option called as use sample data. So let us see how you can see. You can connect to the Excel. You can connect to the SQL Server. You can connect. You can see import data from Excel means you can connect the data from here also. From you can connect to the Excel data which is stored in our desktop from here also. You click on get data. If you click on Excel, if any data is stored in the Excel saved in your laptop, you can connect from here also. Import data from SQL Server. From here, you can connect the data, or otherwise you can click on this get data. From here also you can connect to the SQL Server. Now I've said we can prepare the manual table. From here you can prepare some manual data. Otherwise there is an option called as enter data. From here also you can create some manual tables and use sample data. Suppose this is a blank report, right? This is a blank report. Sometimes, if you are newly installed this Power BI desktop into your system, you want to practice, you want to get some data and you want to practice the data from your own. In that case, Power BI desktop, this Microsoft has given some sample data for you. With that, you can create some reports from the data. So I mean, we can use sample data. Then it will ask load the sample data. That means at the back end, it had the Microsoft has given some data, it stored the data at back end. Once you click on load sample data, some data, see, some data will be loaded. See, it has some financial data. It is, see, when you click on this financial, see some data already it is loaded by the Power BI Microsoft so that you can able to practice on this data. What is the data? See segment, country-wise sales data, products, discounts, how many product units they have sold, what is the price of that product manufacturing to manufacture it, what is the price, how much they have sold that particular product, sales price, and what is the gross sales, how much discount they have given on that particular product, what is the exact sales of that, what is the for goods sold, for selling the goods, how much cost is incurred, cost COGS means cost of goods sold, what is profit, when they have ordered that product, what is the month, in which month, what is the month name, on which year this transaction takes place. So by looking at this price, discount, sales, profit, by this, you can analyze this is a financial data related to some sales of from product. So Microsoft has given us to practice on this part. Once you select this sheet, you need to click on load. Once you click on load, now the data which is given, it will be loaded into your Power BI desktop. Now you can ask a simple question, sir, I have loaded the data where I can see how I can confirm whether my data is loaded into Power BI desktop. So you can come here in this data section. In the data section, you have financial. When you open this, see, this is the data. These are the columns which are there. This is the financial table. In the financial table, these are the columns which are there where you can find the data. Now the next question you can ask me, Sir, I want to see the data which is there in sales. What is the numbers that I've seen? I want to see the data which is stored inside the column. So in that condition, you need to click on any one of the column. So you need to come here. There is one section called as table view. So when you install Power BI desktop, this is the area, this area you are seeing, right? This area is called as report view. What is the meaning of report view? This is the area where you can build the reports, where this center part is called report canvas. In this center part only, you will try to create the visuals. That's why it is called as a report view. Now, if you want to see the data which is present in these tables in particular column, you need to select, you need to go to this view, call it as table view. Once you go to the table view, what is the data which is stored inside that particular column, you can able to see that particular data. Click on the table view, go to this table in the finance, click on any one of the column. See, if I want to go to the particular column, I want to go to the gross sales column, just click on gross sales. Your cursor will go to this gross sales. If you want to see the profit column, click on the profit. You can go to the profit column. So if you want to see, just if you want to see the table, what is the table inside it is stored, you can see in the data section. If you want to see what are the columns, you expand that, you can see the columns. If you want to see the data which is there inside the column, you need to go to this table view and click on any one of the column country. You can able to see that particular data. So in the coming classes, we will be discussing about this only. This, when you look at this Power BI desktop closely, you will see some options called as file options, home, insert, modeling, view, optimize. Each and every option we'll be discussing in the coming classes. But as of now, this Power BI desktop, this center part is, this is called as a report view where you can build your reports. Now this is already this data which is there in the Power BI desktop, like Microsoft, you have loaded, you have worked on the data. But sometimes what happen, you will work on some data which related to the personal data if you want. If you want to work on some personal data, if you want to load some data into your Power BI desktop. Now I am saying here, I have the data which is there. Suppose this is my desktop. In the desktop, I have stored some data. Okay, think my data is stored like here. I will show you. So I will close this. Sorry, there is one data. This is the employee department data. So this the client has given this data to me, so has stored in my Power BI desktop. That means here laptop in the computer in the desktop I have stored. So I will see. Let us open this employee department data. And I will see what is the data it is there. See, this is the employee department sheet I have opened. In that I have three columns. One is three sheets, employee sheet. I have employee number, employee name, job like this. Department column, department ID, department name. So I want to change it. See, department number and department ID both are same. So you can mention, you can copy this, Control C, and can mention it as department ID or department one are the same. Yeah, and I will save it. Right. And you have the manager. So these are the three columns in this particular employee department sheet. I have employee sheet. So related to the employee name, job. This is the information it is there. In the department name, department number, what is the department location it is there. What is manager ID, manager name. Now this data is there in where it is there in my desktop. Okay. Now I want to bring this data which is there in my system. I want to load into Power BI desktop to work on it. So how you can connect today that you will learn. So as that is a Excel sheet, I want to bring the data into my Power BI desktop. So in order to get the data, I will click on this get data. As it is a Excel file, you need to click on Excel workbook. Now it will ask, where is that workbook loaded? It will it placed in your sheet. It is stored in desktop, right? In my computer desktop. You need to click on desktop. Now you need to mention what is the file name. What is the file name that Excel? Employee underscore department. See, this is the employee underscore department only, right? Okay, so you need to click, so you need to select that. Once you select, you need to click on open. Once you click on open, now the data, see that employee department, it has department sheet, employee sheet, manager sheet, it is said that have already shown and have shown in the Excel what is the data. In the manager, what we have manager ID and manager name. See, manager ID, manager name. In the employee, that sheet in the Excel, you have employee number, employee name, job, manager. Those data will be appear over here. In the department name, we have department name, location. See, the department number, department name, location. This is there. Now, if I want to select all the sheet which is there in the Excel, I need to click on this tick button. We need to click all the buttons. I need to select all this. And now you need to click on load. Once you click on the load, the data which is stored in your, which is there in the Excel, it will be loaded into your Power BI desktop. So that is the process. This process is called as getting the data which is stored in your desktop and bringing into Power BI desktop. This process we call it as extraction. E. Once you load, now the data is loaded into your Power BI desktop. It is loading C. That means it is fetching the data. Now you can ask a simple, how I can know whether my data is loaded into Power BI desktop. You need to come to data section. In the data section, department name, employee, manager. These are the three sheets which are there, right? So you can see in the Excel also this employee department, see employee table, see department table, manager. Every sheet will be will be represented as one separate column here. See, this is department. Every table, it will create some table over here. This we call it as every sheet which is there will be represent. It will. This is one table. Department table. It is called as table. It is manager. It will load as the one table. And this, whatever these names are, these are the column names. That column names, employee name, job, manager, hire date, sale. When you look at the employee table, you can see here in the employee table, see commission, department number. You have same, right? Employee number, employee name. See employee number, employee name, job, manager, hire date, job, like manager, hire date, in manager, hire date. So these are coming as a columns over here. Like that, you can able to load the data. Now to see this data in the table view, you can click on the table. You need to, if you want to see the employment data, so you need to minimize this. You need to go to the employee, click on any one of the column. See, you will see the employee number, employee name, job. This is also dot employee name, job, hire date, salary, commission, department number, employee name, job, manager, hire date, salary, commission. So whatever the data which is there in the Excel, now we have loaded into Power BI desktop. Okay, so this is how you can connect with the data. So if you want to go to the report, this is the table view. If you want to go that report view, you need to go to the report view over here. Okay. Now in the Power BI desktop, you will have, now I told you, this is how you can connect to the Excel sheet. You can connect to this SQL server also. Suppose if your data is stored in SQL server, you need to click on this SQL server. But here it will, you have to correct that your client will give the server name. You need to give the server name and you need to click on OK. Once you give the server name, then you can able to connect to that particular data. Okay, that this is how this option, this credential you will be getting once you enter into any the job. Okay. Now next one, there is an option called as enter. Now you can ask me, sir, I want to create some manual tables. How I can create some dummy data? In order to create a dummy data in Power BI desktop, you need to click on enter data. You need to click on enter data. See, this is the data you need to click on enter data. Once you click on this enter data, you can create the column names. What are the columns? Suppose I'm clicking as name and another, this is plus means a new column will be added. I'm giving it as phone number. Right. So this I'm typing as Janar. I'm giving some my phone number. I can click as Ashur. Some dummy number. I'm giving dummy numbers and I've given some numbers. After that, create table. It asks you, do you want to give any name to that? If you don't give any name, it will take the name by default as table. But I want to rename this table as candidate information. This time, after loading the data, you need to give name and phone number, candidate information. I mentioned the table name. Once you click on the load, a table will create it by the candidate information, and that table will be appear over here. See, loaded. See, candidate information, a table as separate. And in the two columns are there, name and phone number. Open it. See, name and phone number. Now, if you want to see this data, come to that table view, go to that candidate information table, click on any one column. See, name and phone number. So this is how you can create some tables manually in Power BI. So we have learned that this is Power BI. Now again, why we are calling this as a report view? Because this is the area where you can build the reports. Now suppose I have connected to the data which is stored in the desktop. Now I will try to connect the data which is stored in my downloads. How I can collect some Excel file is stored in the downloads. I want to connect to that. Okay, click on Excel workbook. If stored in the downloads, click on the downloads. In the download, have stored sample superstore data. This is the one. Now I have click on open. So the tables which are there in that it will store. Now I will take only one table, orders table. I don't want to load this. See, in this order table, I have this much of columns are there. Now we click on load. All these columns will be loaded, and a table will be generated here. Orders table. See, I will load it. Now it is trying to load the data orders. See, orders table has loaded. Now these are the columns which are there over here. If I want to see that data, go to the table view, minimize all this. Okay, go to orders table, click on any one column. You will find whatever the data which is present in that particular column. Now we have said, come to report. Here, this is the area we'll try to build the visuals. Data section means you will find what data is stored, is loaded into your Power BI desktop. Visual, this is called as data pane. Now this center, we called it as visualization pane. So with this data, you will select some visuals. Based upon your visuals, you will, based upon this data, based on the requirement, you will select the visuals and you can build a report here. That's why this center part, we call it as report canvas. See, that's why you can see build visuals with your data. So this is the data here. This symbol is here. This is data. From this data, you will bring the data into this central one. That means this is report canvas. And here you will build a report. So this dotted line is called here. Suppose simple any visual that we'll discuss with these are all the chart. With the help of these charts, we will try to build a visuals and report. That's why this pane we call it as visualization pane. Okay, visualization pane. Suppose I want to create some in the orders table. I will give a rough example. In the coming classes, we will discuss. Suppose the client is asking, I want a region-wise sales information to be represented in one pie chart. So if I want to select the chart, you can select the pie chart over here. This is the pie chart you have seen. Region-wise sales, right? So in order to find the region-wise sales, you can click on this region, right? Or simply you can select this region or you can drop here. That is value. So region-wise sales I want, right? Take the sales, you can directly drop the sales and here, or if you remove and if you select the sales also, directly it will come and settle here. Now it is giving the information about, see, region-wise sale, how much each region is contributing. So West is contributing this, East is contributing this, and Central is contributing this much, South is contributing this much. Now I already said in the yesterday class, if you want to add the border to it, how? Select this visual, come to this format visual. In the format visual, there is an option called as general. Select on general. In the general, you have an option called as effects. Click on the effects. In the effects, there is an option called as visual border. Select the visual border, it is off. You need to on that border. On. Now this visual you got it is in a pie chart. Now if you want to represent this same information in the table format, so you need to click on the empty space, click on this table. Now the table visual will be open. Now region wise sales, right? Region, how much sales? Select the region. Automatic, you can select or you can drag here. Or if you select also, it will come here. So you can drag. Select this and just drag here. Region. So region column is created. And region wise sales, I want, right? Select the sales, drag here. Select the sales and drag here. See region wise sales. So this and this are same. Okay. 7 for 25, it is in thousands, it is coming in the values. So if you want to maximize it, you can able to see this visual. Right. If you want to add border to it, again, don't go into format and add. Just already this visual has border, right? Select this visual, click on the format painter. Just again, you click here. Automatically, that visual also get border. So why I'm explaining this? Because the central part, we call it as a report view, or this central part is called as report canvas. So this is the area where you can build a report based upon your data. And by using these visuals, you will create the report here. That's why this is called as a report view. And this central, we call it as report canvas. Okay. So that's why this is the area where the different visuals are stored. That's why this pane we call it as visualization pane. Now in the Power BI desktop also, if you see, there is one option called as filters. This we call it as filters pane. Now with the data, you can apply some filters over here. Now we have different data, right? Different types of the data is there. Now your client is asking, I want in this particular visual, I don't want all the sales. I want only central sales. So in that condition, you need to select suppose a region and drop that region over here. Add fields here. Just select the region. Now, if your client is asking, I want in this visual only central region to be represented. I don't want so let me zoom something and you will better understand. So, yeah, I want different central east. Now I want to see the only central region sales. You need to click on this region and drag here in the filters, add fields here. And this is a visual, right? Filter on this visual. Here you need to drop in the add data fields. I'm taking the region, dropping that region over here in the fields. Now, whatever the in the region, what are the different type of the regions are there that central, east, south, west, that will be appear over here. Now in this visual, if I want to see central sales, I will click on this central. Now automatically the visual I will show the data related to the central region. Now if I select, now if I want to see central and east, click on the control button and click on east. See, now this visual central and east sales it will show. If you want to see central, east and south, click on the control button and you click on south. It will show central, east and south. If you click on west also, it will show all the regions. You can select all the regions here. Now, if you unselect this, if you select all, if you click on directly, click on this button. Now all the selection will go. It will automatically represent all. Again, if you want to see only west sales, click on west. It will show the west regions. We applied the filters. This is called as filter pane. So once you create the visuals, and if you want to hide some information or if you want to show only few information, you can apply the filters over here. That is called as filter. This is area we call it as filter pane, where you can apply the filters to your visuals. Data pane means where you can see the data which is loaded into your Power BI desktop. Visualization pane means what are the, with the help of different visuals, how you can create the reports. Filters means how you can apply the filters to your report. Now, when you see filter on this visual, so I have dropped in the here, you can, that's why the filter only this visual is changing. This visual is not changing. I have applied the filter on this visual. Now what I will do, I will see if you want to, what happens if you want to remove the filters. So how you can see when you click on this remove filter, now the total filters will be removed. See this. Now filters will be removed. Now, if I select on this same filter, there is called filter on this page. If I select the visual, now add data fields. If I select the region over here, I have selected filter on this visual, only this visual will change. But I'm not selecting this. I'm clicking on empty space. This filter on this page. If I select the region over here and drop that field on add data fields here, I'm selecting here, dropping the field. Now if I select central, now I have not selected this visual, I clicked on empty space. Now this visual will show only central cells and this visual also, because whatever the visuals which are there in this particular page, all visuals will be filtered because we have selected filter on this page. If you have 100 visuals, for that 100 visuals, these filters will be applicable. Now see, if I click on central, see, it will show the central region and the central is blue, and this visual also is giving the central information. Why? Because you selected filter on this page. If I select on central and east both, it will show central and east. It is also showing central sales and east sales. If I select south, it is showing central, east, south. It is showing central, east and south. If you want to remove the filters, you can click filters. That is called as, that's because filters on this page. So this concepts we will discuss in the further class also, because for discussing these visuals, we will be discussing near about 12 to 13 hours of the class. But as a first class, as we are discussing about the Power BI desktop, what is the use of all this? First, you need to understand. Now there is one logic also. Suppose this is called as page one. Here I will try to create two more visuals for you, some rough visuals. So first, as today I will try to give some introduction. So I want to create the category by sales. Okay. Here to find the category, I want to represent in some donut chart. Select the category, come to empty space. I select category by sales. So category by sales means select that category, drop in the legend. Value sales, category by sales I want, select the sales and drop in the values column. So category by sales item. Now I will select this. If you want to add the border, how you can add? Select this visual, click on the format painter, drop the format painter. So this will visualize. So if you want to see, you want to same the region wise info, not category wise information. I want to create another dough chart here. Okay. Another donut chart. I want to create same donut chart. So donut chart already created. So I want to create some bar chart. So here I want to create region wise sales. So I can select the region wise sale, select the region over here, drop in the x-axis and y-axis here. This is regions I will need to get in the x-axis. What is the sales I need to get in the y-axis? So sales drop over here. So I got region wise sales. If you add the border, how you can select this visual, click on the format painter, add the visual. So we'll get the border. Now, if you want some labels, what are the labels? What is the value I want to find, right? I'm west, but I'm not getting the values. So how I can get the values? Select this, go to format your visual. In the format visual, there is an option called you can go down data labels. It is off. You need to click on. So you will get the labels for it. Okay, for this I have created one graph. Now I will go to another table, another report here also page 2. I will build some visuals for. So in this visual, I want to create some same, I want to create this same bar chart in this clustered bar chart. Here also I'm clicking some region wise sales I want. So how? So you can select the region over here in the y-axis and sales you can mention it in. So region wise sales you got. And in order to add the border, what you will do? Select this, go to format visual. In the format visual, where you need to go? General. In the general way, you will go effects. Click on the effects. In the effects, we have visual border. Visual border is off. I need to on it. Visual border is on. Okay. Now the data labels are not there. The values. How you will get the data labels? Select that visual. Go to format your visual. Slowly come down. Data labels are off. Click on the data label. You will get the data labels. Okay. This is how. Now I want to create another visual for it. So what visual I want to get? Here I will click the donut chart only. In the donut chart, I will again create region wise sales. So I'm selecting region. I will select sales, drop in the values. So you will get the region wise sales. Now, if you want to add the border, select this visual, format the painter, just drop here. This will also. Now let us see the filters over here. Filter on this page. Now, if I select the region filter over here and drop here, what happens? I will drop here. If I select central, all 4 visuals relate to the central region only will appear. So if you want to see central, see this is a central region state, this is central, and this is the central only. Because see, once our central sales one, because total sales is different. If you want to select, see for central 170.4, if I deselect this, the value increase 836 because it is of total. If I select central, that central sales only reflected. Now, if I select, if the total sales is 836.5 for this technology, but in this technology, if I want what is central region, select the central. So it will show for in this technology, central region sales is 170.4. So that means this visual is showing the central region only. This region is also related to the sum of sales by region central. This is also here central region. This is also region central. All these are this visual is changed. But when I go to the second page, it is showing for all regions, east, west, south. When I see in this visual, it is showing on. That means the visuals in this page are not changing. The reason being, while applying the filters, you applied on filter in this page means the filters where you are applied, it is applicable to all the visuals which are there in this particular page. Now what I will do, I will remove this filter. So if you remove the filters again, you will get the normal data of all the region. So I will remove the filters. Okay. Right. Now, now same region fields, what I will do, filter on all pages. I will take this region and I will drop here. Right. Now I will filter central. So the total value is 897. It will come on 171. Here it will again show central, central, central. This electron central. See the value decrease technology central, central region, central region, central region. Now you select filter on all pages. That means if you apply this filter applicable to all the pages which is there in your Power BI desktop. Now I am going to page 2. See, in the page 2 also region is equal to central. In this region is equal to you are getting the center. So that is your use of this filter option. You will study this filter option in the coming classes. But as for this basic class, you need to understand the architecture of this Power BI desktop. What is data? If somebody asks in this first class, you need to have the idea how I can connect to the different data source of Excel, how I can connect to the SQL server, how I can create some simple visuals. Okay. And how I can see the columns which are loaded into Power BI desktop, how I can see the data in the table view. Okay. How I can apply I can use the different charts, how I can apply the filters on visual. This basic idea in this first class, if you know, and the coming classes will become very easy for me. Okay. See, if I remove this filter, if I say, if you want to see two regions in east, see central region, east region sales, central and east, central and east. If you want to select south, central, east, south, this also particular region, central is south, central is, you go to the page 2 also, central is south, central is, that means in all the pages. If I create any visual in other pages also, filter all the pages means if you have 100 pages, for all that filter will appear. That is called as filter on all pages. Now how to remove the filter? See here when you go to here remove filter, the filters will be removed. Now if you remove it, it will show all regions, central, east, south, all the cells will show. It will show. This is called. Now, that is called as filter view. Now this is the broad. See, these are the different options. What is transform? Now let us see in the first, this is the basic introduction. Now next 10 or 12 hours of the class, we will discuss when you look at the Power BI total course, I will explain Power BI course. This Power BI course. It will be divided into 4 parts. First part, we will discuss about Power Query. From tomorrow, I will start Power Query. Second part will be Power Pivot. We'll be discussing on Power Pivot. Third part will be discussed with Power View. Fourth part we will be discussed with Power BI service. So near about more than 10 to 14 hours you will take on this Power BI, Power Query. In this, what you will study? You will study ETL process. That means how to extract the data, how to transform the data, how to load your data, and how to convert your unorganized data into organized format, and total ETL process, how to combine the spells, how to merge the columns, how to split the columns, how to extract the date from column, how to apply different type of conditional columns. Everything you will be studying in this Power Query. Next class will be on Power Query. Next near about 10 to 12 hours or 14 hours of the class will be on Power Pivot. So here we'll be discussing about data modeling concepts. I will discuss data modeling and DAX function. Very, very important. Power Pivot. These classes will be conceptual. This data modeling is heart of Power BI. This is the area only DAX function where you will write some coding is involved. A little bit of coding, but we'll try to crack that coding in a generalized format, not mugging the concept. Once you write the formula, based upon the formula, it will give the output. You will see how to write the formula. While writing the formula, the Power BI itself gives some suggestion. Based upon that, we'll study the DAX function. More than in this, more than 10 hours of the class will be dedicatingly study for DAX itself. We'll study more than 100, 200, 300 commands we'll be studying. Next part will be Power View. This is used for building the visuals and reports. Building the visuals and the reports. Next class, you will be studying. See, here we have this, all these visuals will be discussing on live. Whatever this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7, 7, 6, 42, like 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This all visuals you will try to study, and each and every what is the function of the visuals and how to create the report that you will study in the Power BI. And next, some classes will be discussing on Power BI service. Here, how to publish your report. Once your report is developed, right? How to publish your report, how to share the report, how to refresh your report, and many other concepts like row level security. There are many topics are there that you will be studying in the Power BI service. Okay, this is the general class. We'll follow the course curriculum for Power BI service. That Power BI entire class, more than 10 hours class. Almost it will take, this course will be almost, it will take for 2 months. Now we'll start with Power Query. So Power Query useful for transform your data, right? Now here in the report view, now if you want to go to the Power Query, which is useful for transforming your data, there is an option called as transform data. When you click on this transform data, you will go to the Power Query. So this is the area where you can make the transformations of your data. See, you have home. Now in the coming classes, we'll go to the home tab. Whatever each and every option, close and apply, recent sources, data, manage parameter, choose columns, remove columns, each and every option you will be studying in coming classes. Will not even leave a single option which is there in the home tab. We'll come to transform. In this, what are the options which are there, how you will be useful in the real time, we'll be studying in the coming classes. Add column, there are many options which are there. What is the use of each and every column you will be studying. So once you study and view tab also, you have few options. By tab you will go and you will try to explore each option and how each option will be helpful for you. That we will be discussing in coming 10 to 12 hours of the class of the Power Query. So now when you go to the home tab, so I will first, in order to study any Power Query, you need to understand this interface of this. So when you look at the Power Query, this interface, you will see it has many options. It has many panes. The first one we call it as this file ribbon. You have many menu based options are there in the Power Query, right? So this area we call it as Power Query ribbon. This area we call it as Power Query ribbon. Okay, many menu based options are there, right? So for example, For example, this is the ship mode. It is present in this. Now, if you want to convert, go to the transform tab. In this, if I want to convert this into capital letters, okay, you can go to in the format, just an example I'm giving, uppercase. See, all the letters are converted into uppercase. So this is the transformation that you have made. So whatever the transformation that you will make, will be recorded here. In this step, we call it as applied steps. So uppercase the test, that means the test is converted into uppercase. So this type of the transformations, every transformation will be recorded over here. So this pane, we call it as query setting pane. So suppose if I want to extract here from this order date, if I want to extract year from it, I will go to the date, see year 2016, 2015 that I want. I will go to the date, go to year, and I will extract the year. So the year is extracted. Now this step we have performed, the step C is noted down here. It has captured extracted year. Okay. This area we call it as this query settings pane. In the Power Query, this is called as query setting pane. And what are the different options there in the Power Query? It will be represented here in the topmost. This we call it as Power Query ribbon. This above part we call it as Power Query ribbon. All this transform tab from here to here, we call it as Power Query ribbon. And when I click on financial, it will show what is the data which is there in that financial table. If I click on manager, it will show what is the data which is present in the manager table. If I click on employee, what is the data which is present in the employee table, it is visible. Now, this area we call it as results pane or data pane. Why it is called as data pane, this central? What is the data stored inside the table you are able to see? We are able to see the results of that particular, the financial table, what's the data which is present here? It is represented in this central part. This central part we call it as data pane. Okay, the central part we call it as data pane. Now, here, what are the tables that you have loaded? In the Power Query, the tables, the other name of the tables, we call it as queries. Previously, manager table, employee table, department table, candidate information table, orders table. For the tables in the Power Query, we call it as queries. So the area where the tables that we have loaded will be represented. This area we call it as query pane. We call it as query pane. The central part is called results pane or data pane. Here we are applying steps. Wherever steps are recorded, we call it as query setting pane. And one other, this wherever different option, home tab, transform tab, add column, these are different menu based options are there. That is called as ribbon pane. Some people are calling as Power Query ribbon. And if you are making any transformations here, each transformation is see noted in the form of here formula it is representing. See change uppercase. See the formula it is changed. Uppercase chest. This formula is changed. Extracted here. This the area where the transformations are recorded in the form of formula. This area we call it as formula pane. Okay. When you look at this, the Power Query interface, Power Query interface. So what are the different Power Query interface we have seen? I will share you the slide tomorrow in the Power Query. The first one, Power Query ribbon, or we call it as ribbon pane. Power Query ribbon or ribbon pane. So this is a Power Query. These were different options. We call it as ribbon pane. Wherever the queries which are there, the steps are recorded. This we call it as what? Query setting pane. The second interface we call it as query settings pane. Third one, the area where the data which is stored inside will be represented, where the result of the table's data will be represented. The data, this center part, we call it as data pane or results pane. We call it as data pane or results pane. And wherever the formulas are there, the formulas are recorded. Those formula we call this part is called as formula pane. This part is called as formula pane. Next, we call it as where the different tables are recorded. This table, this area, we call it as which pane? Query pane. Yeah, this is understand the bus before studying any interface. You need to understand where this is called query pane. This is called data pane or results pane. The central ribbon pane. This is called as query pane. So, and in the coming classes, in the next 15 hours of classes, we'll go to the home tab and how each and every option it is working. In the next class, in coming classes, we'll discuss step by step. And after completing, you go to the transform tab and you can able to how you can make the transformation. Like simple, I will give a simple example how the transformation will be helpful. I will give one simple example so that you will able to understand. So one example I will give. See, suppose I have a country data, city data, state data. These three are present in different, right? Country is present in separate, city is present in separate, state in separate. Now your client is asking, I want to bring the data which is present in the three different columns. I want to bring it into a single column. Okay, how you can do it? How you can do it? Come to country, select the control button your laptop, select city, select state. So select what are the three columns. Now your requirement is the data which is present in the three different columns. You want to bring that into a single column. Just select that, you click on merge columns. Click on merge columns. It will ask, are you sure you want to insert? So if you want to insert, if I want to come here, you need to come to the last step. After last step, you try to click it same. So what is your requirement? Your requirement is I want to add center, city and center. This T should be compared in a single column, right? Select country, city, state. These three columns which are there in the different, I want to bring it in a single column. Click on merge columns. So it will ask separator. So country, Henderson city, whether it should be separated by some comma or anything you want. Yes, I want each should be separated by one comma or semicolon. I want to separate each one by comma. So that you need to mention. And new column name. So I will bring these three columns into a single column. Do you want to name that name column? So I want to mention it as address column. The address column, ADD. Now what? All these columns will be clubbed and it will stored into a single column and that column will be named as address column. So if you click on, see, address column is created. See, merged columns, a step is created in the apply. So this is state, country, this is country information, state information, city, all these are clubbed into a single column and the data previously it is present in three different columns. Now you can ask me, sir, you perform this step. I want to go the step back. So you need to cancel this step. You will this United States, Anderson, Kentucky will be present in different columns. If you want to see that, you can see here. See United States, Anderson. But if you want to merge it, just select, click on this, go to merge columns, separate by column, comma, give the new column name. Like this, you will study each like this merge column you have studied and each and every option. What is the use of option of each and every column and each and every menu based option. See in this Power Query, you will play with this data. If you want to write this in another write, you need to write some formula. But in the Power Query, just by using this option without knowledge on zero coding, you can able to do all the options. That's why the Power BI has got boom in the market. You no need to understand, just you need to understand this extracted here. You need to add some English to it. Then remaining all by using straightforward menu based option, you can able to play with the data. Okay. So this is the basic introduction. I will stop here. I will start at 8:05. So I'm closing at 9:05. So I will share the recording. I have recorded the session and I will share the recording to you. And first try to uh, attend the classes, go through the live classes, 1 or 2 classes. You can apply 3 classes for free. And if you're able to understand the things only, you try to continue with the classes. If you face any difficulties and you are not getting the concepts, and you can drop from the course. And you can, meanwhile, you can attend some classes in the demo sessions for other institutors or other tutors also. If and compare the teaching and with us, if somebody is teaching better than what we are following, but here we will follow a paced by manner. I think I will start from zero and I will go to very advanced level like a 6 years person that you are able to 5 to 6 year professional that you will able to that type of experience I will give. But I will start from the basics. A person who is from non-technical background without the knowledge on Excel can able to understand my class. And one more thing, after completion of every class, like every section, Power Query, after 10 hours, I will take a mock interview for them and I will give the feedback. I will record that session and I will share it to that particular person so that it will be helpful for him to attend the real-time interviews. So every candidate should give Power Query, Power Pivot. After completing each and every section, the interview will be conducted for that person. And if you take 5 or 6 interview, out of that, the best interview performance I will pick and I will post in the group. So in order to bring the competitive spirit among the students. And for remaining also, I I will try to guide him what is their loopholes, what are the mistakes they are committing, and how to improve the interview in the next with a Power Query in the next coming classes in the coming section. So we'll provide, and after that, for each Power Query, and I will provide the MCQ questions, a most expected question, near about 70 to 80 expected interview questions I will be providing. And apart from that, you will get the material, you will get the interview questions, and you will conduct the mock interview, and also material is also provided. And what are the source files that are using, that source files also I will share it to you, so that after completing the class you can able to work on the same data so that it will become a practice for you. So this is the generally course curriculum we'll follow. And I request everyone to attend the live class tomorrow, and I will share the recording to this. And please, if you're not able to, if any new members are joined, so I request everyone, please, drop your number in the chat box, or you have my number, like just you can text me so that I will add you in the group so that you will get the communication. So at least you give your phone number, or I will share one Google form to you, and at least you will try to fill that Google form. Otherwise, you can drop your name and email ID in the chat box so that I can add you in the group so that you will get the communication in the future. Okay. And thank you. Thanks for your time. If you have any doubts, that you can ask me in the tomorrow class at the starting of session, or right now also, if you have any doubts, then you can ask. You can close the session. Is classes understandable to you? Okay, let me stop the recording. Right. Okay, thank you for joining the session. And tomorrow also you can attend the live